Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. I want to take a moment to thank everybody out there in comic YouTube land that reached out um, and sent condolences and asked me how I was after the death of my father. I really appreciate all the support out there from the fans and from the people who do YouTube. I really appreciate you all taking the time to send me messages. It was really, really nice of you. Thank you very much. I also would like to take the time and remind everybody that that is one of the reasons why I think the comic community on YouTube, whether you're a creator, whether you're just a supporter, whether you're a member, whether you're just randomly walking by and watching on whatever, you guys are the best, and it's appreciated very much that you guys had taken the time to say things. Um, I'm feeling much better now, and I appreciate everybody's, you know, everybody's interest in, words. They were very kind. Thank you very much. So, that out of the way, let's get to the subject of today's video. Today's video subject is one that I love almost as much as I love the original subject that she is based on. We all remember that pre-crisis, DC had worlds upon worlds upon worlds, but really there were two main ones that they concentrated on, Earth 1 and Earth 2. Earth 1, of course, is the Justice League. Earth 2 is the Golden Age Justice Society. Well, the 1970s came along, and there was a character that was created in 1959 on Earth 1 who became very popular and had no counterpart on Earth 2, and that was Kara Zor-El, Supergirl. So the 1970s came along, DC did their explosion, and in that explosion, they brought All Star Comics back with the Justice Society because the Justice Society had proven to be popular when it was brought back starting in the starting in the 1960s, and bringing it back. It was only 5 years after they stopped publishing them, right? So they brought back All Star Comics with the numbering 58, continuing from 57 back in 1955, right? Well, in this book was a new character. We finally got the Supergirl of Earth 2, and she was known as Power Girl, making her debut in All Star Comics 58, which was February 1976. She originally, as a character, was the cousin of Superman on Earth 2. Eventually, after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and Supergirl got killed during that event, she became the powerhouse female on the remaining Earth. And by powerhouse, I mean, like, of course, of the two, they kept Power Girl. At this point, they started changing her origins, but we'll get into that shortly. Like Supergirl, she was the daughter of Superman's uncle and aunt, who were actually not named at first, but ended up being Allure-Ah and Zor-El with the single L instead of EL, like Jor-El, okay? And she was a native of Krypton. Unlike Supergirl, she was still an infant when she was sent, and she had made it to Earth as well, but her rocket sort of stayed in orbit for a bit, and she was in suspended animation. So she grew slowly. So even though she was around Earth for about 4.5 decades when she was found, she was only a girl of 20, or a woman of 20, when she was rescued. Eventually, they changed it, to retconned it to make her 18. So as she slowly aged, well, Cal, of course, you know that there. After Crisis, her origin became a real mix mash because they didn't know exactly where to put her, because Superman had to be the only survivor of Krypton, and thus, she couldn't be the cousin anymore, which is why they had the Matrix Supergirl as well. So they made Power Girl into the granddaughter of Arion, Lord of Atlantis, who had spent thousands of years in suspended animation and came unfrozen in the present. Eventually, this was thrown away, and after some confusion, where they did a bunch of storylines after Infinite Crisis, where she didn't know where she came from, she got confused. They finally established, with the reestablishment of Earth 2, that she went back to being Kal-El's, single L, not EL, Kal-El's cousin again from Earth 2. And after they finally retcon and retcon and retcon, she is back to being what she was before. Except that currently, after Doomsday Clock, because Doomsday Clock did finally end the stuff, Doomsday Clock made Earth 2 again. Not the mixed matches we had even before Doomsday Clock, where in the Justice Society series of 2007 to 2011. Not even that mishmash, but truly is what she is again after Dr. Manhattan does his thing. However, she is now on the main Earth, even though her origin still remains Earth 2. She is living on the main Earth as part of the Super family. And she and Supergirl, although similar, are different enough that, they are two distinct identities. Although genetically, as they say, genetically the same, personalities are different because of their different upbringings and such. What I'm going to show you today is the Power Girls series from 2020, Madonna DC. I've got the entire run. It went 20 issues with one special and one uncovered, they call it. So 22 issues in total. I'm going to show the books. I'm not going to get into the details of the books, but I'm going to show the covers, and just because they're great covers. The majority of them were done by Canadian artist Yannick Paquette, although there are other people doing covers, like Adam Hughes did one or two, and so forth. So we're going to have some fun with it. During this series, Power Girl has decided to become Karen Page is her other other name originally, but for most of it. But this one, she just decides to use Page as her first name, based on when Superboy Jonathan Kent, Superman Jonathan Kent calls her PG for Power Girl. They turned it into Paige. So her first name in this series is Paige instead of Karen Page, like she's been known for a long time. Karen Starr. Sorry, Karen Page is the Daredevil lady. The Page new name is throwing me off. So she's Paige Starr, Paige whatever. She changes her names 3 or 4 times and then decides, screw it, I'm Power Girl. That's who I am. You can call me Paige, but I'm Power Girl. Karen Page. Jeez, can you tell I just watched some episodes of Daredevil? So, Karen Starr. All right. We've got issue 1 of Power Girl. Here we have an Adam Hughes cover. Issue 2. This is also Adam Hughes. Issue 3. And this is where Yannick Paquette starts doing the run for a bit on the covers. This is issue... Oh, I apologize. I don't think this is Paquette. Let me take a look here. No, this is Frank Anderson. Frank Anderson. The signatures look very similar if you don't have your glasses on. This is another Anderson cover. And now that I think about it, I better check. Those may not have been Hughes. Those may have been Anderson. My apologies. They are not Adam Hughes. They are all Anderson covers, which makes sense. The signatures look so similar to everybody. But I love this because she ends up taking Streaky. Here's a cool one. The Supergirls unite. I can't read who this is on the signature, but this is number 6, Supergirl and Power Girl. And they go off. They end up in a medieval type dimension that is really cool. And this is number 7. Power Girl is like a warrior. Now, here is where Paquette kicks in. This is issue 8. This one I can tell because it actually says Paquette. So this is issue 8, which is a really cool one where Lobo's daughter Crush is involved. And I love this cover. Power Girl 9. I don't know what it is about this cover I like so much, but it's a nice cover. And then number 10. Number 11. $12. Now, one of the coolest things I liked about this series was that if you're a new Teen Titans fan from the Silver Age, you might remember a character by the name of Lilith. She joins the team probably around I'd say around Teen Titans 25, and she's there for a while, and she has mental powers. Well, she is known as Omen later in comic books, and Omen is her best friend and roommate for this series. So you get this issue 13 with this actually real cool. This is Paquette again, but this really cool floating head of her using her powers to protect Power Girl and her date, who somehow they ended up somehow in a Norse dimension. That was going on a lot at DC at the time. Wonder Woman had this Norse squirrel that she was talking to in Valhalla. Like Wonder Woman was hanging out in Valhalla. There was a big thing where heroes were disappearing into Norse-like dimensions at this time for a storyline or two. Power Girl 14, one of the best Paquette covers of the run for some strange, awesome reason. I really like Yannick's art. He has done some great work over the years. He did a lot of work with Batman Incorporated. He did some work with Superman, and he's been working on and off for Marvel. He does a lot of covers, and he's really good. He doesn't, however, do. Oh yes, this is him still. Sorry, my eyes. I really have to get them checked. Rain on Ejecta's Parade, number 15. They were trying to make this Ejecta into her big bad. They were trying so hard. I don't think they would succeeded it very much. Because somehow they also end up in Antarctica. Here's Power Girl 15, where they're fighting. And here is Power Girl 17, where they return her to her original costume. It's around the same time that Supergirl starts wearing her skirt again, as opposed to the pants. They have a nice housewarming gift here because Paige, in her other identity, has lots and lots and lots of money. So they buy a new build. They build a new building and they have a big party to celebrate it. Which, of course, number 17. Can any superhero have a fun event without something like this happening? Crashing the party. Number 18. Look at those flying lemons and the flying cat. Streaky doesn't really have powers in this version of Streaky. Okay, they just put a cape on her every so often, but she doesn't. She's not the super cat. He's not the super cat. Sorry. Here's 19. Power Girl and a dinosaur. Issue 20. This is where she decides, screw it, I am Power Girl. You can call me Paige, but I'm Power Girl. During this run, not only was she trying, she had a business and lots of money, which she started with and then ended with. She tries to become a reporter in the middle of it at the Daily Planet. Lois, knows who she is, and she knows who Lois is because, again, she's part of the super family. Lois tries to find her work. She decides it just isn't for her. The family business isn't for her. But then this cover represents the two sides of her, as well as seeing things in her mind. This is the book that started this series. Power Girl Special 1 came out just before, and it was the sales of this book that convinced them to go ahead with a full series at this time. So it's not an annual, it was a special, and basically it set things up so that this series could happen. It tried to answer the questions of how is she here from Earth 2? Why am I thinking this? Why am I thinking that? And her friend Omen helped with the mental powers, helped fix her. And as a consequence, during this entire series, Omen and Power Girl have a continuous link to each other. They can reach to each other no matter the distance. And the last thing from this series is this collection of covers from this. It collects all the covers from this series because this had like 6 covers, and a bunch of the other covers from the early issues of this series of all the variants. And they collected this into this collection, and this is where Power Girl Uncovered, they call it. It's just the covers. There's no story to it, but it was still a nice. If you like Power Girl like I do, and you don't want to buy all the variant cover issues, buying this one issue for, at the time, $5.99 USA or US dollars um, was a way to get all the covers without having to buy all the books. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe below. Please tell me what your favorite Power Girl books are. I mean, I have a lot of them. I could have sat here and done All-Star Comics, Showcase Power Girl, Justice League International in Europe, where she was there. All the stuff in between. Power Girl, she had a series before the New 52. She was in Birds of Prey for a while. She was all over the place. I could have shown you Power Girl, till the cows come home. But I tried to keep this video under 25 minutes. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please tell me what you think. And if you got nothing better to do, why don't you check out my friend Ryan at Nefarious Comics? Details in the channel description below. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've had a great time. My name's Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.